In my last couple of videos, I shared one approach to tweaking dual amp setups, that of blending two amps. In this video, I'll be sharing the second approach, amp switching, coming up. Hello, welcome to the video. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Justin and I'm all about worship guitar, helping you play and sound your best for Jesus. Stick around to the end for a bonus where I share where to download the patches featured in this video, including a free pack that contains my setup templates. If we've met before, welcome back. Quick sidebar, I know the intro track wasn't a worship song, but the Endwalker theme from Final Fantasy XIV is so cool that I had to throw it in somehow. Besides, you never know when you need a J-rock style lead tone. Okay, on to the video proper. Eric Johnson's Total Electric Guitar was my first exposure to cascading pentatonic lead lines, as well as a demonstration of how amp switching can be an integral part of a player's tone. EJ's setup diagrams can be labyrinthine, but at its heart, he's using a couple of AB boxes to switch between a pair of Fender amps and a 100-watt Marshall stack. The sparkling cleans and crunch tones come from the Fenders, while the Eric Clapton style lead tone comes from the Marshall. On the Helix, we're going to be using virtual AB boxes to achieve the same effect. Why would you want to switch between two amps in a Helix signal chain? The most important benefit from such a setup is that we can have instantaneous access to two vastly different amp tones like EJ's Fender Marshall setup. The second benefit is that there are amps on the Helix that have clean and lead versions as separate models like the Archetype and the Placator. Instead of stacking overdrive pedals into the clean version of the amp model, we can switch to the lead version that will have all the characteristics and nuances of the amp rather than that of the overdrive pedals in front of it. However, there is one significant drawback to this setup. Because we're essentially loading two amp models, the DSP usage is going to be significantly higher. As such, you may not be able to stack your delays and reverbs as per usual, or have access to your favorite palette of overdrive pedals up front. Caveat emptor. The key is to recognize the strengths of this setup. If you wanted the amp sound to be distinct, ditch overdrive pedals and dedicate one amp model for crunch or lead tones, using an additional switch to change amp parameters like amp gain to toggle between different gain levels. With all that out of the way, I'm going to now share my personal process when switching two amps, and I hope this will get you started in creating your own unique setups. Method 1. FS mode. To replicate the function of an AB box, we're going to assign both amps to the same foot switch for bypass, but one will be on and the other will be off. This way, when you hit the foot switch, you will toggle bypass between two amps. Remember, you will need one amp to be on and the other off, or this won't work. In fact, Richie Castellano has 3 free presets available from Custom Tone, and I highly recommend watching the video in its entirety. Method 2. Snapshot mode. Since snapshots allow us to save both the bypass state of the block and the parameters per snapshot, each snapshot allows us to choose which amp we want on, as well as decide on the parameters to toggle between clean and overdriven sounds. The biggest advantage of snapshots to change amps in gain staging is that there's no ambience pop. If you assign ambience to snapshots, this is what may happen when you switch between dry and wet levels of ambience. At the end of the day, it's all about what works best for you and what you need the foot switches for. In FS mode, I typically have overdrive and amp drive assigned to the foot switches, while snapshots change the levels of ambience. In snapshot mode, I have the snapshots change the level of gain and my wet effects assigned to the foot switches. I belong to the category of people who can play their entire set in FS mode and have no need to turn up the level of ambience because I have keyboardists who do that for me. You, on the other hand, might be a single guitarist in your band who needs to cover both guitar and ambient keyboard parts, in which case, you need to be able to toggle ambience on the fly and need those foot switches free that snapshot mode affords. Which leads us into today's bonus. The patches you heard in today's music is from my HX Stomp AIO pack, which contains a variety of setup configurations and the result of my tonal experiments. The Litty Arch has been set up for FS mode, while the Litty Donk is set up for snapshot mode. As it is with all my patch packs, it's a continual work in progress, so new patches get updated all the time. If you do download it, save the link so that you can refresh it every now and then for free updates. Question of the day: what are your favorite amp flavors that you'd consider switching between? I'd love to hear your ideas and thoughts in the comment section below. That's it from me. Thanks for watching this video. Feel free to share this video with someone whom you know is interested in 2 amp HX Stomp tones. If you gotten value out of this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell notification button, and treating me to a coffee to support these videos and my ministry. Until next time, I'm Justin, and I'm all about worship guitar.